So maybe we rewind a bit.
Okay, yeah.
You know, just all the way to when I met Dan. No.
Whoa.
Not all the way back to that. Okay. So it all started in, but you guys, anyway, you know. So yeah. So look, I'm a first time dad, you know, so I'm super excited about just having a kid and everything. You know, like not everything. Every time somebody looks at him, it's like, I just read anything I know from the Quran, you know. But anyway, so yeah. So we were actually, Dana was due like around the 27th of December or something like that. But on the 12th, so Dana had this thing where she's like, in her last 2 weeks, she wanted to go all out. Like every day there were plans. Okay, we're gonna have dinner here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Like everything. Like we're going out. I was tired. Like I'm not even the pregnant one. You know, like I'm the tired one. You know, but it was good. It was a cool couple of weeks. And then.
And why is that? Why was she like that?
She just felt that she was about to give birth.
Okay.
And so her life was going to be just super limited to the baby, you know?
Okay.
So she was like, I want to do as much as I can right now, you know, and get it all out of the way, you know? So I guess we were both nervous, you know, like it's our first kid, like, and we've been married for 6 years, you know? So like we have been like, the only thing in our life was just each other, you know what I mean? Like, you know, we do things for each other. We travel whenever we wanted to. We, you know, like our time was always ours. You know what I mean? So, and of course, you have friends who have kids, and they freak you out. You know, like, oh, good luck. You know, because you're never gonna sleep again, or you know, like, oh, you're gonna miss traveling, or blah blah blah. So, you know, when people tell you that stuff,
sometimes I just feel like people like to talk.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah. A lot of people like to talk. I think, you know, and so
especially people with kids.
People with kids, I feel like maybe they want to freak you out. I don't know if they want to freak you out, just don't want to give you advice, you know? Like, oh, it's going to be... Like, I think there's people that have this survivor syndrome, you know what I mean? Like, where they want to tell you that, you know, they've been through the tough shit and they've survived, and now look at us.
Yeah.
You know, we're better people, you know? Like,
I can see that.
So, like, that, everybody tells you about the first 40 days, you know, like how it's going to be, like, from hell, you know? Like, it's just a slice of hell that God gives you. But honestly, it's not that. But anyway, we're jumping ahead. So let's scale back to that 2 weeks. Yeah. So on December 12th, one of Dana's plans was for us to go out for dinner. One of her favorite places, BB Social House. You should try it out. Really good, you know. What was it?
I forgot what it was called.
The soup thing. Come on. Ramen. There we go. There's
ramen.
Really good ramen.
I was thinking something else. My bad.
So she was super pregnant at that point, right? She was really super pregnant at that point, and she's getting a lot of contractions and stuff like that. So it's just, you know, getting contractions to the listeners who don't have kids, it means that, you know, baby's close, but they're painful contractions and stuff like that. And we had just seen the doctor earlier in the day, and she was like, it could happen any day. So if you get contractions, don't wait, go to the hospital.
Ooh.
And like we were like, shit, because now it's getting real, you know, like. Because it's all been abstract for 12.
Getting nervous.
9 months, it's been all abstract to us. Like,
it is.
There's a baby in her stomach, and we referred to him as Peanut because he looked like a peanut in the ultrasound, but then he became an actual person, and like so the whole thing was just abstract in our minds, you know. But then it's gonna be real in like 24 hours. It's gonna be real. He's gonna be here. Like what? It's like a guest we've been waiting for 9 months, and now he's coming. You know. So. It was like, so we just went out and whatever, and we finished, you know, our dinner and everything, and she started getting those contractions, but we're like, it's okay, let's just time them. You have to time them like every 7 minutes or whatever.
Wait, explain that to me. I don't understand.
Because every time, well, you can, I guess, explain it. You should, like, there's a lady in the room, so she actually went through it. So interject at any point here.
Don't want to seem uncool, but I've actually never gone through it in both of my pregnancies.
Really?
I've never had contractions.
Oh, shit. Okay, well.
But yeah, I mean, it's like pain you feel.
Yeah, like like sore.
It's like back pain, like spiky pain is what I've been told.
Yeah.
And then it goes away, and then you have to time how far they are apart. So the faster they come, the closer you are to the pregnancy. So I think once you're at 5 minutes, then you need to be in the
Then
hospital.
they're like
5 minutes in between each contraction.
yeah.
Okay.
And then they have to last about like I don't know, like 40 seconds or something like that. I don't know.
Something.
Anyway, so she gets them, and we were like, she was trying to ignore them. She's like, it's fine. Like, she usually got nervous, like, you know, and she's like, I don't want to give birth on the 13th, on Friday the 13th. I don't want to, you know. She's like, come on, just hang in there one more day, you know. And I was like, Tana, I think we have to go. Like, it was 11 p.m. at that point. So we just, you know, her bag's ready. Dana is like the most organized person on the planet. So just bags ready, like everything was ready. She's like, good to go. So we went in the car, we went to the hospital, and sure enough, they admitted her. They're like, yep, you are in labor. So we were all like, oh my god.
Do you like call your parents?
Yeah, well, in the beginning we didn't, because we wanted to see like, you know, we didn't want to freak anybody out, anybody to come out to the hospital or anything.
Okay.
They were like, look, it's going to take some time, you know. And at that point, Dana was in a lot of pain. And I don't want to, like, it was so hard for me to see her in pain, you know, like just to see her, like looking at her, like
you can't do anything.
I can't do anything about it. And you know, it's it's tough, because like she's my wife, you know, and like she's and I, you know, I want to help her out, but I can't. So all I could do is like go out and start shouting at people like, she needs her epidural right now. Interject epidural. Do you want to talk about what an epidural is?
Pain relieving medication for pregnancies, but it can only be given at like a specific period in the contractions. So it's very like precise.
So doctors sometimes, I've seen this in a movie. Doctors like, it's not the time for the epidural.
Or they'll be like, it's too late.
I was more like, get her the fucking epidural right now. You know, so that's how I was.
Actually, classy.
Get the doctor in here. So doctor finally came. After 2 hours, she was like in pain and stuff. They would hook her up to a machine, right? So this machine would measure the strength of the contractions, right? So like if it goes up to, so it starts off like at 30, and like it goes up all the way to like 110, 20 or something like that. So it goes up to 100. That means it's a really strong contraction, and it's really, really painful. So
dangerous? Is it dangerous?
No, it just means she's in labor. That's
it. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, look, I'm not giving any medical, you know, information here. Like, look it up, look everything I'm saying up. So I don't know if it's dangerous or not.
I'm so interested. Yeah.
But anyway, so she's getting like up to 30, 40. She's in excruciating pain, you know.
God.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, like we need this epidural right now. And anyway, they finally come in, they give it to her, and then, you know, she relaxes, right? She calms down, and she can now sleep. But I'm looking at the machine, because that's still hooked up on her, and the machine's going up to like 90, 100, and she's like chilling, nothing.
Wow.
I was like, Dana, are you feeling any of this? She's like, no, I just feel like a little bit of tightening in my stomach. I was like, you just had like a major contraction. Like it was 110. That's crazy.
It's like science.
It is insane. Yeah, it blows your mind, you know? Like it's actually really crazy. Like whoever invented epidural, like I don't know if he's still alive or she's still alive, but you know, fucking props.
It's amazing that like you can measure it. You can visually see the contraction, but then the pain isn't there.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Like it's so mind blowing. It's absolutely mind blowing. But anyway, like she stayed for like she slept through the night, and
must be a hell of a drug.
Yeah. It was really, and she was really tired as well. And she really didn't want him to come at night, because she wanted all her energy for the morning. So you know, she slept through the night, and her mom was there too. So we were just chilling. And then I was sleeping and stuff like that. So anyway, I woke up at like 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning. We didn't wake up, like we were on and off and that kind of thing. But like at 8, we were all like up and ready, and she was up and everything. And I was like, okay, I'm going to just go take a quick shower and stuff like that. And then, you know, hopefully the doctor will be here, Dr. Adham, our doctor. And she, like, I go to the room, and like I get a message on my phone at like 9. She's like, Rehab is here. You need to come. And I was like, oh my God. Like it's so hard to explain, because it's like, it really feels like the most important guest like you've been expecting is arriving, like, and you've been waiting for that guest for like 30 years, right? And like he is now coming. You're like,
Yeah.
so like you need to be here. You know, it's such a mind-blowing experience. You know, so I rush back to the room where she's like about to give birth. I see Adham, because Adham's been our doctor for the past that 9-month journey. So it was really reassuring to see her and that kind of thing. And she's super cool, like she's super chilled and stuff like that. It's like, Dana, you know, you're doing well, blah, 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 that kind of thing. Okay, Dana, you ready? That kind of thing. Like everybody in position, everybody out of the room, only husband in the room, you know? And Dana's like, don't look anywhere except for my face. And that's it, you know? Because like, I don't want you to look anywhere else. I was like, all right, cool, nowhere else. Nowhere. I was like, okay, fine, nowhere else, you know? But she was she was a champ. You know, I was looking at, because Dana worked out throughout her pregnancy. Like she was like proper working out. And if anybody like followed her on Instagram, she would see like her videos.
Damn.
So, like, she was
like,
crushing it.
She's constantly on Hamburger Generation newsfeed.
I was like doing crunches and stuff. Insane. Like even when I was like, she would train me while she was pregnant. Like that, she was, you know, that into it. Oh shit, yeah, she was insane. Anyway, so so like that was her ultimate workout, you know, like, oh, she's like, I got this. I could do like my crunches and my everything, like, and then you know, everything was in position, and the doctor was like, all right, push. She's like, okay, you got to push, and like she gives her like instructions on when to push and that kind of thing. She couldn't feel because she was on the epidural, so like they would touch her stomach and like, okay, we feel a contraction coming, now push, and like she would push and that kind of thing.
Oh, so you're supposed to push right when there's a contraction.
Yeah, contraction comes and she's
then
like
push.
Yeah, so and that lasted for like 45 minutes, and then the doctor was like, he's like I see him. He's coming, you know, like, and I was like, oh my God, Zayn is coming. Push, you know, like we're all like, he's on the way, like he's coming, you know, and like just 2 minutes after that, he was out, and like it's like the whole world like just circled around us, you know, like he was out. She took him out and she put him on Dana's chest, because like you do this whole skin to skin thing where the baby first comes out, he goes to his mother. Of course, he looked like whoa, you know, like it was blue and white and like red and like, it's like, oh, that's not what I imagined. You know?
Yeah, in the movies,
I imagined the baby an angel descending from the sky above.
Like, I need a minute. I was like, process.
What's going on there?
What's happening here? But then they take him right away and they put him on the bed, like, and he wasn't crying in the beginning, so we're all like, oh, what the fuck's going on? Like, he's not crying, and you know, like,
they're supposed to cry. Yeah.
Well, they're like, you watch too many movies. You know, he's fine. They just need to give him some oxygen.
They do the spank.
They didn't. So they put him like, there's a bed right next to the mom, and they start working on him. Like they start cleaning him. They take the fluids from his lungs,
like suction it out.
Oh, they suck it out and that kind of thing. He pooped right out of the gate, you know. So like,
classy guy,
you know, like throw back to our previous podcast, but yeah, pooping right away, right out of the gate, you know. So he like, and he was in there like, and I was like in disbelief looking at this like human, like this thing that just came out of my wife, and like he's there, he's breathing, he starts to cry, and like I was like, oh man, holy shit, you know. Of course I'm like saying alhamdulillah, like I'm like saying all the things I can say, like that I know, you know. And then the doctor walks in, this a doctor from this hospital, and he's like, oh, this is a beautiful baby, oh, this is beautiful, oh, what is the father? And I was like, me right here. He's like, what is his name? And he said, what's his name? And I kid you not, I bawled my eyes out. Like, started crying so much. And he's like, what is wrong? I was like, I can't bring myself to say his name.
Like, that's him.
Yeah,
that's actually him.
Because I said, he's abstract. He was been abstract for 9 months, you know?
Yeah.
And now he's there, and that's Zayn. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
person. Person is there.
And then I heard me crying, and she's like, you okay? Like, is he okay? Like, is there anything wrong? Like, no, he's fine. It's just like, I'm overwhelmed with the emotion right now, you know? So I just told him Zayn, and like, yeah, he was there, and they put him back to Dana, and then the crying started. So, and it started for a while. Like, I was like, he's not crying. He kept crying for the next 3-4 hours, like, just like nonstop. It's like, why is he crying?
Is he broken?
What's going on here? You know, I mean, you know, like
foreshadowing.
Just give him back. But yeah, it was crazy. But it was so overwhelming the first 3 days. You know, like in the hospital. I hate being in a hospital and then like just like people coming in and like, you know, people calling, you know, like, and people calling me like, and I couldn't pick up everyone's calls because like there's a baby crying, and then the doctor was like, oh well, maybe we need to take him to the ICU for a bit because like we don't know why he's crying so much, you know. And we went down to the ICU, and that like puts more pressure on me, like what's wrong with my kid, you know, like is he okay, is he not okay, that kind of thing.
Your brain starts wandering, and
it goes far, like it goes really bad places. So and then Dana comes down, she's like, where's Zayn, and he's in the ICU and that kind of thing, and she's like, no, I'm like, there's nothing wrong with him, like he's just like, why did they take him downstairs, like there's nothing wrong with him. So she's like, you know, with one leg, she limps to the ICU because she still has the epidural, you know, still in her. She limps all the way to the ICU. She's like, I want my baby. She takes him out and he stops crying. Like the moment he comes to Dana, he stops crying. Take him up to the room.
Oh, wow.
And
he knows her heartbeat.
It's so crazy. Like that's another thing. Like he knows her smell, he knows her heartbeat, and he heard it and felt her. And
I mean, they've been attached for 9 months. Literally attached.
2 souls, one body.
It's not explain, please.
A poem I featured on Jamil's Poetry initiative.
Oh, okay. Well, you should say it.
Maybe we'll record it for this episode for comedic purposes.
Maybe for this episode, it's time to talk.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It was pretty insane. Yeah, it was a pretty intense, insane, amazing experience for sure. Yeah,
wow.
It was pretty crazy.
So So you're on my mom's side, basically. I should get married and get a child.
You should,
How are you feeling now on the other end, though?
I think it's you know, it's so like what he's like a month and he's almost 2 months actually. Next week will be 2 months. You know, we're one of those people now who'd like measure in weeks. You know, like, I thought I would never be that person. It was 7 weeks now.
People would be like, "How old's your kid?" 23 months. And I'd be like, "What?
Why can't you just say 2 years?"
Say 2 years. Fuck you. You know, I always had that issue. Like some people like say, "Oh, he's 24. It's like 24 weeks." Or what? Like what the fuck? Just say like in months. Like what is it in months? You know, like it's like, you know, that Zach Galifianakis meme, like with all the numbers. You know, like that's me all the time. You know? What are you saying? But yeah, no, it's great. Honestly, it's okay. So you know, I said parents like to talk shit, but you know, the survivor syndrome, blah blah blah. Honestly, it's not as bad as people make it out to seem. Like, okay, I'm sure every baby is different,
for sure,
but you know, it's not that bad. You know, it's bad. Like it's not bad. It's just it's tiring. You know, and you don't sleep as much as you'd like to in the beginning, but you know, it's not as bad as people say it is. You know, it's fine actually, but it's also pretty cool too. Like, because there's this new person in your house, and
it's your lookout on it, right? Like, especially the way you were describing how when you have Zayn in the stroller and you're walking around and you're like just being jolly, like, that's my child right there. My boy. Just today I was in Dubai Mall and I noticed this guy with his kid, and he was just like, I can see it in his eyes. He's
bitter?
Like, I should have never had you. What the hell are you doing to me?
Well, I don't know where I'll be in a year, so let's see.
True.
Yeah.
But I don't look. I think it's I think it's an outlook thing.
For sure.
I also think it's really cool to see them develop. You know, like to see like new things every day. Every week is a new week. Like new personalities started like creeping in. He just started smiling like a week ago, so like that's amazing. That's nice. You know, like so, and like, you know, it's everything is fascinating. You know, everything is just fascinating. Like and I think if you think about it, and like he was nothing. Like he was nothing. It didn't exist. Like he didn't exist. You know, like, and now he's a fully functioning human being. You know, like.
Well, I mean,
it's crazy. Like it's a crazy thought. You know,
it's insane to think that my body can make another human.
Isn't that even crazier?
How is everyone so casual about it? Like I'm always just like, I made you. Like my body is a machine, and the machine creates
it's crazy
life.
But
that's what my body does.
We've been doing it for so long, for like 150,000 years, that we're like,
like numb to it, you know?
Yeah. But when you actually go through it, you're like, holy shit, this is insane. Like,
I remember when I'd be pregnant, I'd be hanging out with my friends and I'd be like, FYI, while we're hanging out, I'm making a human. Like right now in this process.
It's cooking and it's going to come out and it's going to be amazing. It's crazy. Yeah, it's really insane. But, it's tiring too. Like I was saying, like the first 2 weeks just felt like a one continuous day. You know what I mean? Like it's just like one day.
Yeah.
It just kept going and going and going. But like I took 3 weeks off off of work.
That's
and like
nice.
I just didn't give a fuck about work. Shit.
That I love very much.
Honestly, if I did give a shit about work, I'd be worried.
But I mean, you didn't give a shit about work comparing to how much shit you're giving about Zayn.
Exactly. Just in general, I just didn't give a shit about work. Like I get a message from my boss. Oh, did you do this and that? Like, not today. Not today, tomorrow, or for the next 3 weeks. So, I'm out. But I didn't care about anything else, to be honest. Like, this is the only thing I cared about. But it's cool because I feel like it builds like a nice framework of priorities in your life, I think, Like, for example, we've been trying to plan this podcast for quite some time. It's just now I know my time slots and like the important, time that I can allocate to people outside of my house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got my wife, I got my son.
For sure.
Got Grace, my nanny. No, I'm just not but anyway.
Very valuable member.
We could get to Grace later because that's a story. But there goes my phone. But anyway, I think it's like right now it gives you this framework where you start deciding who you want to spend your time with. Like I don't know if you've been through it, but that's how I feel right now.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, I have this big chunk now that I need to have in my day. And then anything outside of that chunk needs to be like a really important person to take out of that chunk.
Yeah.
And then it kind of makes you reassess who are the people that I'm giving my time to. And is it worth me giving my time to them? Or should I be giving my time to my family, which, I'm committed to?
Yeah.
So it really makes you... make your group a little bit smaller.
Yeah,
make
I agree.
Your friends a little bit smaller and just like less bullshit, I feel.
Yeah.
And just more of like you're really streamline the people in your life.
Exactly. I think so too. I think it's really like, I know like, for example, okay, I got an hour on Saturday evening. We've been wanting to make this podcast for a while. And like I told you guys, anybody gives me the opportunity to talk about Zayn, I'm there, But, like it feels like, okay, I want to just allocate my time to just important things or things that are productive or things that doesn't feel like a waste of time, And I just notice this a lot now, when at work or working on my own personal stuff or just, people in my life, like just... I want to focus on the people that count. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing.
Yeah, your time becomes way more limited.
Yeah.
And with your limited time outside the house, you're going to give it to people who actually like contribute.
Yeah. Like you just want to make sure that your time is well spent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. But and it's also so funny though. I think when the mom versus dad, like, right? So I think the way you approach your child is different, at least in the beginning, right? The mom is super like connected from day one. There's that maternal bond because like he or she came out of you, like so like you made that person, so like that bond is instant. It's right away. It's like it's of
and
love.
There was like a 9 month. I think that 9 month connection is like a huge part of it.
You also see him like through the stomach. Like how when they start kicking, when they're in the stomach, you start seeing them. So like that bond is instant.
Yeah. The food you're sharing, right?
Yeah, he's eating from whatever you're eating and that kind of thing. And I feel like the dad is a different approach. The dad is more of like a protective thing, like because I feel like it's super like evolutionary, you know what I mean? Like it's our roles, you know, if we're like something happens to us. I feel like
you go back to like your primitive.
I feel that's what happens, you know, like, we become protective, you know, like the hospital room was the cave, you know, and like I'm like, you know, Dana, you okay to see somebody right now? You know, like if not, then I'll shoot them off, you know, like you know, and I'll like take out my spear and like, you know, and like
I got you, Dana, I'll shoot them off.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tant, بس هي هلا تعبانة.
Because, you know, like, honestly, like, leading up to the day of the birth, I would think about so many things that now I don't, like, I was like, why the fuck did I think of that? Like, for example, like, oh, well, how am I going to manage people coming in and out of the room? You know, like, is it going to be rude if I tell them, like, you can't come in? Like, all that kind of stuff. You know, things that you would think about, like, when you don't have a kid, you know, but when you, like, instant, like, that happens to you and you're like, I don't give a shit. Like, I know my priorities. My priorities is Zayn and Dana right now. So, like, everything else outside of that doesn't matter, you know? So, as long as they're happy and they're comfortable, and that's what matters right now, you know? So.
I was going to say, sorry, but I might disagree with you.
Oh, sure, please. Yes.
I mean, Dana, for sure. But not every mom goes through the same experience. When I had my daughters, both of them, or at least the first one, the second one, I mean, come on.
Why?
The first one, I did not feel an immediate maternal instinct.
I heard that too.
Whatsoever at all. Actually, I thought it was completely reversed.
Really?
I had 9 months of being busy being pregnant. Like, I was only thinking of the pregnancy. I was only thinking of what I was experiencing in the pregnancy. Like, I was so engaged in the pregnancy that I did not foresee what's coming after the pregnancy. Versus Zayd, in those 9 months, I felt like he was just planning for, okay, after the pregnancy, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're moving, we're doing that. Like, he was planning for after the pregnancy. The moment I had Tamara, I swear to God, I saw a switch in Zayd. Like, he just, like, that's it. He became dad.
Really?
You know, like, he was about the baby. He went with the baby. He came back. He was checking on me. Like, he's doing exactly what you're saying. But for me, it was like, okay, what is this thing?
What's going on?
What is this? Like, the first moment I saw her when they took her out of me and then they brought her to me, my first emotion towards her was like, I feel really sorry because that thing was smushed inside me. Like, that was my first thought. Like, crazy. My thought wasn't like, I am your mother and I should care for you. It was just like, and she was really gooey. So I was like, ew.
They do look creepy.
Like,
when
I even
they come
like
out.
clenched, like, ew.
No, even me and Dana were like, you know, like, you know, in the beginning, in the first, like, you'd think that moment when you first see him come out, like, you think, how's that first moment gonna be, you know? And I thought, like, we're gonna like, something's gonna happen when we first see him, but we're both like taken aback with the moment he came out. Like, woo,
it does take time.
That is,
like taking some like,
you know, I was like, why is he blue, brown, red, yellow? You know, what's going on? Like, what's going on here?
Did she give birth to a rainbow?
He looks a little rainbowy right now. But no, I agree. Actually, I some people talk to me about that experience as well. Like, they said, like, not everybody has. I think my sister also in the beginning wasn't like, I didn't think she had that as well in the first like a day or so.
Dude, I probably didn't have it for like a very long time. Like,
really?
First, I want to say 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, I would, like, at some point I would be telling my mom, like, okay, when am I supposed to love this baby? Like, initially I was like, okay, I care about it. I want it to live.
So there is
like,
that.
But like, I don't feel
Good
an
start.
emotional connection. Like, I feel like I'm taking care of like an injured kitten. I feel like, you know, this is my duty. I'm gonna do it. All of that. But it's not like, oh, I want to snuggle and I love you so much. It was not like that.
Yeah.
So the question is, what is the thing that caused you to switch and have that on?
Once the baby becomes more interactive. Once you see the baby like really
smile
change, develop. Yeah. Like when the baby starts moving and identifying who you are, then it becomes like a bit of like back and forth. Yeah. In the beginning, it was just like me. It was like, come on, give me something. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I agree.